The rain did not stop night 2, and it rained, I believe, up until the pre-show started. The show must go on was clearly the moniker for the past 2 WrestleManias, and what a night of action we had to close out one hell of a week. But we cannot review it all without the one and only, clearly the dynamic duo of the Fiend. Welcome back, Skylar!
What's up?
I just want to mention, you see, so this is the 2 faces of the Fiend. We got, happy,
And
scary.
scary.
This also suits our personalities.
Very much.
So that was actually the match we start off with.
Mm-hmm.
And so Skylar and I have this inside joke about wrestlers wearing white gear. Because
Yes.
white gear is very unlucky.
Very scary.
So when Randy came out in white gear, I was like, up, it's over. And WWE, you owe me royalties for that really big Fiend entrance.
Mm-hmm.
I said that Jack in the Box 2 months ago. Besides the Jack in the Box in general, what did you kind of think of the Fiend's whole entrance? Because I thought they were copying the Weeknd in the beginning. What did you think of it? Did you like it?
Oh, I was in love. The way he came out of the Jack in the Box was so good. Like the aesthetic of it all fit so well, especially with Alexa Bliss turning it like she's been doing for weeks, and it just I love there's serotonin in the brain.
I told you that Jack in the Box was gonna play off.
It did.
Now it would have played off a little bit more if that's how he came back.
Yeah.
Thank you, WWE. I swear, WWE watches these videos because they're like, oh my god, the Jack in the Box, that's so smart. But this match, what a way to start.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll let you go with this first.
It was very storytelling. I must give them that. I like his little tribute to Brody Lee. I didn't notice it until I went to Twitter and I was like, oh, makes sense. It was a little slow. And like cool he got out of the DDTs a lot, but the fact that a one RKO can kill him after a distraction just kind of blew out his whole character because he kicked out of like 5 stomps, but he can't kick out of one RKO. Get burnt to a crisp, but he can't kick out. It was just very weird.
It was 15 stomps, by the way.
Sorry.
Hey, as a Rollins fan, that's really touchy subject for us. But I'll say a couple things. First of all, why did you bring back the red lights?
Facts. It was brighter than normal, but it was still off. It was so stupid.
I think it's better in the outdoors, but the thing was when they first brought the red lights when the Fiend had his match against Rollins, everyone complained about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you brought it back to the biggest stage of them all when 2 years ago you had people screaming about the yellow lights during AJ and Orton.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first problem with this. My second problem with this, and I said this on any single podcast show thing I was on, why did this match not have a stipulation?
I thought they were going to announce it right before. I thought they were going to announce it on the pre-show and we get like really cool. But no, it was...
Because that's the whole issue with this, because this whole match was built around special effects. Every single thing they did for the past 4 months was all pre-taped. They used the advantage of not having having the Thunderdome. And WrestleMania, that was their first test of like, what can we do here? And they didn't even try to do anything. This is a match I even said since like November I figured was going to be a Firefly Funhouse match, and they could have done so much with this.
Yeah, even a live crowd.
Because of how long Orton's career has been, and they just did not take advantage of it at all. And I don't even know what you do with the Fiend from here.
I see the problem is it's with the Alexa Bliss too, because when she came out, like for the distraction, I was like, what is this? Like, I thought someone was going to come out, like a higher power. But no, they just went black and everything. But then I read on Twitter, she could be the reincarnation of Sister Abigail. We finally got our Sister Abigail. So I hope that plays in tomorrow and then he just starts like getting stronger and rampaging on everyone.
But my problem with that is Sister Abigail turns on Bray. So that means Sister Abigail would be with Orton, which would then mean who's going to be with the Fiend, unless you're going to actually use Nikki Cross in the storyline and get Nikki.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
I don't know. It was really weird how they did it. I feel like if she did that, like if she did turn, it was not clear enough. If it was to help him, it didn't help him. I don't know. Like I love how creepy this keeps getting. And it usually makes sense, but this one did not make sense. And I'm so mad.
This was the wrong way to start your pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Because every single person was booing.
Yeah. Because it was a horrible ending. I think they wanted Bray to win. Because he lost almost every match with Randy.
He loses all the time. Doesn't matter who it's against.
Somehow Alexa Bliss is the only one in that group to win.
Bray Wyatt is I don't think people realize this. Bray Wyatt is the ultimate jobber.
Yeah, but he still looks strong. It's so weird.
I swear, the only reason that keeps him employed is that he writes all his stuff himself. If he was not as creative as he was, he would have been fired like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He would have been let go with Harper and Rowan. They would have released all 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But because Bray can write for himself, and that's why they keep him.
And the people love it, so. So
that was, like, I was like, really? You go from, like, Bianca and Sasha to this crap?
Yeah, it was.
And then it didn't even get better, because we went to this tag team match.
Not as bad as last night.
Me and Bill were like, oh, what a way to start your freaking pay-per-view. Look at these 2 matches. I don't know. I mean, this match went longer than I expected, and I felt like that was the theme for a lot of the matches. Like, I just felt like last night was just so much better paced, and I don't know if it was because I was looking forward to more matches that were on night 1 than tonight, but this to me was just a tad too long.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the wrong people won.
Yeah, I agree. I think Nia and Shayna should have lost it. And Tamina and Natalia would win, and Tamina can finally get her championship, because we've been waiting 10 years for that, like I said last night. And I don't know. It just, I feel like it's been too long for them to be champions. It was a good match. Like, there were some parts I was kind of but like, it was a pretty decent match.
Tamina looked very, very good throughout.
Yeah. People say she's winded very early on, but I'm also like, I don't think she's winded. I think she's selling pretty well.
You also have to remember, she doesn't wrestle a lot, and she's also very injury prone.
Yeah.
That 95% of the time she's not being used is because she had surgery on some type of injury. Yeah. And she's also not the youngest wrestler on the roster. She's very old.
But she can still do it. Like, she can
still. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah, no. But it's, people use that as a bad way, though. So it's like, you have to be like, she can still do it. She can do it more than half the people that say she can't. So.
But I'll ask the question that we asked, like, the last match. What's next? Because I thought, it'd be so cool if, Natty and Tamina won, and now you could do Rhea versus Shayna at WrestleMania Backlash. And I even said this on the podcast too. I'm like, Monday, Nia and Shayna, #1 contenders.
Yeah. Match. I don't know where they're going with this team. I feel like it should have ended a while ago. It should have never happened.
And where was Reginald?
Maybe he got COVID.
That's where Tom Phillips got it from, guys.
Oh, is that why he was out?
They said COVID protocol, and I don't know if COVID protocol meant he was in close contact with somebody or he has COVID.
Oh, that's why he's not going to be on the Monday Night Raw.
No, he's getting replaced.
Oh, he's official. Oh, poor him.
And then Grace is apparently moving to Raw, and then Cole's getting someone else. But I don't know if Cole's getting Tom or if someone's moving up. Tom and Cole cannot be together.
No, they're the same person. Can't happen.
Like, no. I was talking about this before with Bozo and Bozo. And I'll tell you who Bozo and Bozo was after this. And I was like, who they should bring up? Beth.
Yeah. I would like that.
They've done it. They did Evolution.
Yeah. They just, I don't think she would be able to travel, like when they start again.
Well, I'm just saying for right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if the plan is for NXT to travel too, she has to do it anyway. If NXT's going to travel after this.
True.
So it just depends what we're doing.
Yeah.
But the match that picked up the pay-per-view. Thank you, Logan Paul, for not doing anything at all. Kevin Owens.
For doing its work.
Kevin Owens gets his second WrestleMania win over Sami Zayn. This was clearly the match of the night.
Yes.
Steve Zapolsky, you won the weekend. Congratulations. Thank you for inventing Ring of Honor. Without you, Rollins would not be a thing. But they were given, I believe someone said this match was like 10 minutes, like 10 to 12 minutes. And you can tell.
No.
That's how good of chemistry they have. And I very much suggest if you have not seen their Ring of Honor matches, I've had the privilege to see it live. Go watch them. They are beautiful. I was there when Owens did, I forgot what Owens did to Sammy, but there was a 45-minute intermission because Owens very much hurt Zayn in real life. 45-minute intermission. I was 12. I was very angry. This is a very long show for me. But this match was really good. I was shocked we got the clean finish.
Yes.
And I liked how they saved the Logan Paul stuff for the end. I was glad he wasn't on commentary. His facial reactions throughout the match were very funny.
Yes. Very, very acting.
He was like, ooh, ooh.
Very much seemed like he did not, I don't know. It seems like he was there for the money. Unlike Bad Bunny. So.
Poor guys, Bad Bunny didn't sign a contract.
I'm so mad my prediction didn't come true.
I was literally like, that's the briefcase. There's gonna be a contract in there.
But I like the match. Oh my god, I love when best friends fight each other.
It works.
And the moves they trusted each other so well that they didn't care what moves they were doing. Like it kind of reminded me of their NXT match. Like for me, because that's when I started watching them. And it just, Sammy plays the character so well. Kevin is like a nonchalant guy who's just like, I don't know how I got dragged into this, but I'm gonna beat your ass anyway. And then he stunned Logan Paul, and
he sold it. He sold it very well.
He did. I don't like Logan Paul. Can't stand that guy. I do want to see what he says on his podcast about WWE, because that can be a big influence for WWE.
Be like, well, they flew me out and they paid me this, and like it rained and it wasn't that fun. I really didn't do a lot. That's exactly how this is gonna go.
I want one praise from him. He needs to do some good in the world.
Yeah, I mean, Bad Bunny on Twitter was just so grateful for everything.
Oh, such an innocent man.
But here's my thing. All right, so the tour ends. I believe the tour ends April 1st. WrestleMania is April 3rd next year.
Round 2, Bad Bunny. Round 2. Let's go.
Guys, we could do this, And the tour doesn't start, I think, till like February, so he could be here till the end of the year. Like, yeah. People were crying on Twitter. They were like, "Goodbye, legend. I'll miss you." I was like, "Oh my god."
Oh, such an icon. Hall of Fame next year.
Hey, Taker's headlining that class.
Oh yeah, you're right.
His home state, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And my man's favorite wrestler got his title taken away from him. Bye-bye, Riddle. You could have your birds with your freaking eye patches. Sheamus is the new U.S. champ. What did you think about this? I have very mixed emotions.
So I must say, with the pre-show of that, the Rob Van Dam coming in with his rolling papers, how unpeacock of him.
It'll get cut in editing, don't worry. Cut it.
But I was so happy with that part. I'm telling you, I love the character. I hate the man.
Hi Bros, I'm telling you, RVD needs to come back for one more run. Hi Bros is a tag team.
royalties. But for the match, that was my pee break. I had to go so bad. But I came back and Sheamus was dominating. And as he should. Riddle had some of his moves, but Sheamus just kept going. And then I came back when he hit the knee and Cole said a bro kick, and I was like, that was a knee.
Oh, I said the same thing. I yelled at Cole very much the past 2 days.
Me too. But when Sheamus actually did the bro kick on the flip and cut his mouth open, made me knock the tooth out, that was amazing. Best luck. And he looked so mad. I was like, that was probably a receipt, dude. Because you messed up at one point during that match.
Night 2 was Botchamania.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, night 1 was 2. I don't know.
Yeah.
Botches happen. I liked / hated this match. This was another one I thought was kind of long. Like, this is a match, I predicted this match. I said this match was going to happen in February. Again, double plea. If you're listening to my videos, you're welcome for the ideas. I love / hate this match. This is another one where I felt like it went too long. And this was a very technical match because Sheamus has very much evolved his style over the years. Mm-hmm. So he kind of does more groundwork and more MMA style because of like the different training he's doing because he is older.
Yeah.
And what he did, I like that he went on the top rope because he didn't do that. Because he never does that. I felt so bad because the white noise, he slipped on the rope.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shame.
Yeah.
Shamey.
I felt so bad. But he recovered. He went for the top rope move.
He did. I was like, oh, good cover here. But I think if Lee's okay, I think he comes out tomorrow and beats Sheamus.
That's why I said to my parents, I was like, Keith Lee's probably coming in to beat Sheamus tomorrow.
I wouldn't mind him going for a couple months. Well, I mean, Riddle really wasn't like knocked out. Like they had that stare down.
Yeah, I honestly think he was really. I think he was supposed to be knocked out, but I think he was mad that he got busted open.
Good, let him be mad. He deserves.
Oh, I know, because he's a baby.
Karma. Welcome to the WWE. Guess the Monster Factory in Jersey didn't teach you properly. Speaking of interesting matches, the Nigerian drum fight that used no drums. Wally's performance was see, I didn't like how they did the live performances back to back because they usually try to space them out.
Yeah.
Which is why when I was like looking at how they formatted it, I was like, wait, they're putting them back to back.
Yeah.
I mean, Wally was a little, like Bill told me this, but Wally was a little late. Like the track started before he started singing.
Well, I think that happened on both.
I think something was wrong with whoever performed Ria's, and we'll get to that. I think something was wrong with her microphone because that was not good.
I think it might have been the earpieces because that's how you're supposed to hear the music and yourself, and that might because for both, I think that was both off.
We love the rain. I will blame the rain.
Yeah.
But I would have rather this be a street fight, a no DQ. You didn't use the drums.
Mm-mm. You didn't use the gong.
He missed the gong. You this is what you use. The kendo sticks and steps.
Yeah.
Nigerian drum fight. But Dabba freaking Kato.
Can I just say they acted like they had no idea who this guy was? I was like, are we erasing history? I know we do that from time to time, but it was not that long ago.
Raw Underground is making stars. The almost won. Dabba Kato. Oh my! I was so excited. I was like, yes. But Dabba Kato was technically drafted to Raw.
Yeah.
Totally. I'm happy Apollo won though.
I'm not.
Not the way it ended. I would have rather Apollo get the win clean.
I just don't want him to win.
But just think of it like this. Big E can always challenge Reigns next.
He's not. He's going to ask for a rematch in the Intercontinental Championship, lose that, fall off the world. I don't have hope for creative or Vince. I have hope for Big E, but not them. So this kind of just ruined me.
Did you like the match or no? You just didn't like it because Big E lost?
No. I did like some of the Yeah. Like the spots. Yeah.
Mhm.
The table spots, and the edge of the ring spots. Those were cool. 'Cause I love pain. But yeah, overall it was a pretty decent match.
It was a good back and forth. They both looked strong.
Hmm.
I like the little duel with the kendo sticks in the beginning. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Tessa's strength. She was more tougher.
And it does make up for what happened at Fastlane.
Yes, very much. Very much.
And then our first troll of the night of Becky. There's still tomorrow.
I don't care. I don't care. It should. Oh god, I threw my phone. I was so happy people booed. The Bella should have never came.
I didn't get there. I'm talking about Ripley and Asuka first.
Oh,
The Bella thing happened directly after this.
sorry. I'm still mad.
We gotta go in order here. Okay, so
I'm sorry.
it's okay. So okay, I'll start over. So the first of two teases of Becky with a terrible live performance. I feel so bad. I don't care.
My girl.
I don't care you saw him live 3 times. What the hell was I?
I'm telling you, it was this. It was WWE because I've seen them live. It's usually not like she's really good. I think it was the earpiece.
I
Like,
love the song. Not
yeah,
once.
yeah. No, she's usually good live. I think it was WWE because I'm telling you, she's good.
This match was another one that was too long. And I'm not just saying that because I thought it was going to be a 5-minute squash match. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just how it should have went. I did predict this was going to be the cool down match, which it was because this was right before the main event.
Yeah.
I feel very bad for Asuka because she's just not booked well in general. I think Asuka just needs to go away for a while and have them not repackage her, but she has to go away to then do something. I'm happy Rhea won. I would like a new finish than the Riptide.
I think she was a little off on it because usually it looks really powerful. I think it was just a little misstep. But
I'm happy she got her moment after last year she got screwed.
her confidence can finally go up again.
And thank you for saving the Raw Women's Division.
Yes. Oh, my girl crush did it, man. Well, just my crush. She killed it. She killed it. She's at 24 years young, the tallest 5'7" person you'll ever see
Ever.
ever. Crazy.
Well,
But
actually, Raquel and her are the same height, so.
yeah. But they both look super tall, no matter who they're next to. My mom's like, she's only 5'7"? I'm like, yeah.
Did you see the picture floating around? I think it was like 2 years ago. And it was Ripley, Raquel, or it was last year. It was Ripley, Raquel, and Bianca.
Yeah.
They didn't have titles now.
Oh, yeah.
All three.
Finish the trifecta, baby.
And I'll also say, I believe this is the first time the final two in a Royal Rumble walked away with championships at Mania.
Yep. Girl power. Woman power. Only women.
Now we could talk about the belts. But I'll say this. Why, first, I didn't talk about this in the beginning. Why the hell were Titus and Hulk Hogan in pirate costumes to start the night?
Because of the theme. Sorry, I was thinking of a meme. Anyway.
So I believe this was supposed to be the spot where they announced the attendance record.
Yeah.
They always do before the main event. Titus was thanking everybody for coming. Bailey comes out. Bailey's like, my wives have carried the show. Where's my pyro? And the pyro was orange.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh. And then, but you can love, but you can't touch. You can't dream it unstoppable.
So stupid. I hate it. I hate it. The crowd hated it. The crowd hated it so much, and I was so happy. I almost broke my phone. Because like, how are you gonna have the Bella twins get cheered over Bailey when Bailey is the most over person? Even though she's a heel, she's the most over person. How are you gonna do that? You
This
can't.
was also the perfect spot to bring Becky back.
Becky, Lita, Trish, Molly Holly. They could have had Molly Holly come out and throw Bailey.
Aiden.
Yeah, could have been anyone else. They had other people, but
And
they
Trish is
chose
there.
the Bellas because of their reality show.
Trish is in Tampa. She
Who?
flew down. Trish, she's there.
Yeah, exactly. It just was horrible, and I see on Twitter people are hating it too, and I love that.
Good job, Deborah Boy.
Yeah.
And then our main event. Hashtag end still. So this was very interesting here because I think everybody everyone had their own reasons why each man should win, right? It wasn't like, oh my god, it's so obvious that Roman's gonna retain, or oh my god, it's so obvious because this is Bryan's potential last WrestleMania that Bryan's gonna win, and we're just gonna redo what we did 7 years ago. Or oh my god, Edge, 10 years to the day, makes total sense. Everyone had a reason to win, and that's what I like, because no matter what was gonna happen in this match, it was going to be unpredictable.
Yes.
And they delivered. There were so many cool spots in this. Each person had a spot where it looked like they were going to win because the other two men were down.
Yes.
But I will say this finish, I'm done with. For people who have neck problems and concussions, 2 concertos. You're gonna end with a concerto.
I mean, if they consent, it's all game.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this was pre-Pelland back on their 7-year wedding anniversary. I didn't like how they took Jay out in the beginning because it was obvious he was going to be able to play into the finish because this is what they do. They did it the Royal Rumble with Orton. They did it in 2019 with Rollins.
I thought they were going to actually keep him out finally.
I like Paul's reactions.
Oh, he inspires me as a manager.
I liked how each of them had the lay to head at the table. But now, what do we do at WrestleMania Backlash?
I don't know, because I was really hoping Edge would win, but he was wearing the white outfit, and I couldn't get off, and I'm so mad.
The white.
It's white, man. I thought, because Randy also had white and red. He can win this. But no.
White's a hit and miss.
It's such a hit and miss. But technically, Bryan got covered. Edge covered him, so Edge won. Just want to point that.
I saw that on Twitter.
But I don't know. Like we were talking about earlier, it could be either Cesaro and Sheamus going for a #1 contendership.
Sheamus is on
Sheamus, Cesaro. Brain fart.
Sheamus. Raw.
I know. Someone could be coming back Friday night. Like, someone could be coming up from NXT.
The Universal Championship might be in someone's vision.
Yeah. I said Seth.
No, you said Cesaro and Sheamus, and you just said Cesaro.
Oh.
The Universal Championship could be in someone's vision. Mega heel versus Mega heel. Hey, that's how this is ending.
I know.
That's how everyone is setting. It's not even the Rollins bias to me. Everyone knows this is ending with Rollins taking it from him.
You think? You think he's gonna take it? And then we're gonna get Seth and Edge?
Yeah.
I'm really looking for that storyline.
I'm booking it right now. The SummerSlam 2021 main event will be a face Roman Reigns versus a heel Seth Rollins, with Seth Rollins taking the Universal Championship. And then SummerSlam will be in New York, and I will be there to see him win the title on my birthday.
I don't think Seth is gonna Roman Reigns is gonna turn face. I don't think they're gonna do it. Because they didn't even cheer for him tonight.
They never cheer for him.
Exactly. But remember they kept worrying that people were gonna cheer for him at WrestleMania? they didn't. So I think they're gonna keep him a long time heel for a while. What?
He's better.
He's not gonna be heel.
He prefers heel over face. No one likes him as a face.
I know. I mean, if they could do a double heel thing, that would be amazing. I think that would be cool, you know?
Yeah, we're gonna have a whole main event with whoa.
Well, that's when the fans can choose who they want to win, and then they can still be heel.
You know what's gonna happen? Here's what's gonna happen, right? Remember how when Brock versus Rollins at SummerSlam?
Yeah.
And they were booing Rollins and they were cheering Brock, and then by the end of the match they were cheering Rollins.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
But yes, on my birthday, August 15th, 2021, in New York, SummerSlam, Rollins will be winning the Universal Championship.
I'll put it in my dreams to pray for I'll manifest it. There's the word.
And if it happens,
Royalties.
typically, I'd like a cut here. I'm gonna make I'm gonna make a list of all the things WWE owes me for royalties. I'm gonna be like, hey Hunter, you know when I did my YouTube show before I was hired here, all these ideas I said before you did. Can I get a cut?
Cite like list of citations of when you did it in the email.
They're like, here you go. And just like, damn, Kimmy. And I'm like, look, I'm sorry.
They block you.
What did you prefer, night 1 or night 2?
Night 1.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate overall WrestleMania, combining both nights?
A 10.
Both nights a 10.
For together.
Together,
like,
yes.
Together, I think they both a 10. Just of the aspect, it was a lot better with crowds. Even though they were lazy at some times. It was the atmosphere of it. It was just, it felt like old times. So I think it deserves a 10 for me.
For the lack of build that we had going in, I felt like this Mania exceeded a lot of expectations.
Yeah.
There were a couple matches that fell short and fell a little flat. I still believe WrestleMania 35 is better, and that's why I'm just going to compare it because I was there. I rated an 8.
Yeah. Altogether?
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the time we hit August 15th, and they travel by August,